It's just like, go. We are live.
We are. Let me see if Instagram.
Check them.
All right.
Check
Okay.
them.
It's slowly coming. We go on Instagram, so let's go live on Instagram. Give us a second. Facebook and YouTube. It's a delay with Instagram.
Very much so a delay.
So let
It's
me
terrible.
let my Instagram, users come up. Shout out to my nail tech out in Chester, Virginia. So
You drive all the way to Chester.
it's only like
No, no, ain't no only like.
I
I'm
stay.
from the south side. You talking about coming all the way up.
There go my niece Pooh. I gotta give her a shout out.
You
Real.
coming all the way up to Bell Boulevard.
No, I'm off of
No, 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 no. You by the bridge, right?
yeah, so I'm right by 95
Oh yeah.
South. The McDonald's on Hall.
Yeah, okay, yes, but you still got to get off an Iron Bridge, and then how far down Iron
No, I
Bridge?
don't get off Iron Bridge. I get off at
This is
exit
Richmond
like
talk, everybody.
I get off right before the
All right,
Petersburg.
see far. I don't care what you say. I know Chester.
It's 30 minutes.
Chester fit to get your nails. She bad as a bitch to get your nails done for 30 minutes.
She sure is.
All right, pick
Yes,
one color.
that is the only person that I have been faithful to for I feel like
Pick one color. Can you do one color for her, please?
no,
Her hair look like a bag of Skittles. Tell them why we here today, yo.
We are
Tell them why they tuning into this live today. If you have not been following online,
ah, hold on. Let
this.
me get my DC Pool a shout out.
Oh, I'm
Shout
sorry.
out to Shangel because this goes into why we're here. Get a FaceTime from my niece, and she was like, "Auntie, is y'all gonna talk about whatever her real name is? Because I don't even know.
I don't know her name.
She,
I'm
she
watching
Shangel, if you still on,
listen.
put her name in the comments.
Somebody put all of them episodes together on YouTube.
Yep.
All heroes don't wear capes. Because it is 50 episodes.
Yes. Yes.
And it's split up between two. I think the first one was 4 hours and some change.
Yes, 4.5. Because when I called you on Tuesday, I said,
4 hours and some change, right?
yeah,
And then the other one is
2 hours.
it's like 6 hours of content, yo, over days. If you have not been paying attention, if you have been dead in your little shell in your bubble, the internet is burning up with this TikTok from this young lady called "Who the fuck did I marry?" And I
to YouTube.
am a victim of stuck there, and I'm on episode 47. I ain't even got through all of it yet.
I finished
47, and
hold on, we got to slow up. My good old my slowly coming in. She just texted me, so we listening.
okay, my goodness, this is the wildest shit. You know what? You know what this story reminds me of on a scale of 1 to wild as fuck.
What's that?
You remember that tweet back in the day that they made that movie Zola about this chick talking about how she met this white girl who was a stripper and got stuck with her on this road trip shit. Like, you remember that shit?
I remember that movie.
And remember, kept thinking about like, yo, this can't be real. They made a movie over that shit. You seen it?
I didn't see it. I saw the previews because the black girl is in there, I think.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, I saw the previews. I wanted to see that though. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I didn't know it was based off of a tweet. Oh,
yes, one of the longest. Like, this is back in the glory days of Twitter before it became like a wretched cesspool and shit. But this was in the glory days of Twitter when niggas would just run off a story in like multiple tweets because you still had the character limit back then.
Yes.
Right? You only got that shit now. You had the character limit back then. So like that shit went on for like, and it had the internet by storm. This what this shit reminds me of. It's too fucking long though.
It's crazy because I listened to it 22 minutes in. I didn't feel sorry for her. Like,
oh, you one of them people that was bashing her in her comments, like she said.
I didn't bash her in her comments. So, we still gonna talk about my fake trip to Orlando. I mean, I got played by somebody I knew. Tried to
Scam's gonna scam.
That part. So it's like As much as I want to call
Homosexuals gonna
that
hobo.
part, that was what I put on some of my notes over here because I got a whole notepad for. So my thing was,
Okay.
as much as he's a liar, yes, but you got scammed. Like you got scammed, and I broke down some of the stuff because you know how we keep our podcast nice and polished and poised. You know what we got to do, but I feel like at some point desperation kicked in, COVID kicked in.
You know what? I'm gonna start calling COVID the blip. Just you know what I'm saying? Like Thanos snap. That's got to be what a good solid 2.5, 3 years. I'm talking about the quarantine time.
Yes, shout out.
Because I remember,
Shout out to Kim, my old, fifth floor twin tower.
because COVID went from like the OG variant, and I would probably say the quarantine ran out somewhere in that gap between uh Omicron and Delta. Remember that's like around November, December, because I got COVID in December, right when that new surge hit. But we was well out of quarantine. Niggas was like, cause we went to homecoming that year.
Yeah.
Like niggas was, you know what I'm saying? Like they was, we outside. Remember we outside.
Yeah, because we had to make sure we showed our proof of
Right. Everywhere you go and shit, you had to make sure you had your cards on you and shit, or at least had your like screenshots.
yes.
But I'm start calling that shit the blip because like it's a lot of people that went into the blip and didn't come out.
And that's what I feel like. So my niece, she said she accepted every lie he made until he got bedridden. So that I guess we gotta talk about that at one point too.
Oh no, he lied all the way to the end. That's how you know you lie. You lie and you hold on to that lie. You don't like one of my closest friends, and I love him to death. He is a good friend of mine. But he lies on that level. And we all know he lies. We accept it. You know what I'm saying? Because his lies don't hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? But like he lies like that. So I know that exists. I know that exists.
I do too. So that's why I'm like,
but these people don't think they're lying. They really don't.
They don't.
Right?
I feel like
look at Donald Trump. He believes his lies because he doesn't think he's lying. Some people lie like we sneeze, breathe.
See, I don't. Hold on. Can we not bring up Donald and him because I feel some type of way because the man was a Gemini. I'm a Gemini, and Donald Trump is a Gemini.
Listen,
so I feel some type of way about that.
Listen, my rising house is in Gemini. I get you guys, really, I do. Right, but you can have two sides of a coin without being good and bad. You know what I'm saying? You can have dual personalities without both of them being douches. Right? There's the who you are. Like there's this like that line that says you gotta be a lion so you can be the lamb who you really are. You gotta be a lion in the street so you can be a lamb at home or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's duality right there. Right? There's who you present to the world and then who you really are. Some people get caught up in that presentation so bad that it becomes their reality. And you do nothing but double down. Like you just you fall wholeheartedly into it. It's like a nigga that's been undercover too long. Next thing you know, he snorting coke, slapping bitches on the ass. And,
oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Just then fell into his whole character.
I mean, so example, we're gonna get into this because women, we have met those guys. I remember being in my 20s, and I'm sorry if you come on this live and listen, but I mean, you did it. So there is someone that I know of. I met them in person before, a great person. But I remember when we first like used to talk on, it may have been Black Planet. And he was telling me everything because I'm mentioning this because the lady said the guy had a twin.
Real quick.
And yes.
What was your Black Planet name?
Poetic PA Mommy.
Mine was Too Skinny for You.
What? Oh my God. I can't with you right now.
Because I was bony back in the day. You know, I was slim thick, slim something. You know, I was just like couldn't gain no weight. So, we had it was coming me and my boys, we was all like tall and lanky. They called us the Bony Brothers and shit. So Too Skinny for You was like the name that I had for you.
Okay. And I was Poetic PA, Pennsylvania.
Black Planet for all you non Gen Xers and maybe Gen Y. Black Planet was one of those first social medias just for us, just for us over here on this side of the spectrum.
So
Okay.
before MySpace.
Before there was a MySpace
And
or
so
Facebook.
yeah, because
Yeah.
Facebook was
Yeah.
only for college
I
students.
still had dial up when Black Planet was the shit.
Oh yeah, I did too. I did. I had I did too, because I was out in Portsmouth. So he had told me that he was this, like, all these people he played for. So he was a musician. All these people he played for. And then come to find out, years later, a couple of years later, I ended up going to Union for like a semester, literally a semester. And when I went to Union, I just so happened to meet, what's the odds of me? You're in Pennsylvania. I'm not going to say where. I'm in Virginia. And what are the odds that I meet someone that you know? And the person was like, nah, that's everything his boy did. That's not what he used to do.
But I
Yeah.
mean,
That's why I said on me.
niggas have reinvented themselves based loosely off of characters in their lives, right?
Yeah.
I've told my fair share of little white lies before Google. If I was in Vegas, I would say that I played minor league soccer or minor league baseball. You know what I'm saying? It was believable, and you would be surprised how people treat you if they thought you was semi-famous, right? But after Google, never, because a motherfucker could just pull your shit up right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, listen, and we gonna get, I told you about this year. We're getting transparent. So the one time this chick asked me for like a pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a lot of those. I mean, it's like barely any. Right? I maybe got one or two. So sent it to her, and she was like, "Is this an old pick?" And I'm like, "Nah." I'm lying like shit. It's old as hell. She sent me a screenshot of like her verifying how old this shit was. You can't even really lie to nobody no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so why try? Like, why do it? But liars gonna lie, scammers gonna scam,
And he was a
homosexuals
scammer.
gonna
And
hobo.
that's what I feel like he was a scammer and a homosexual all
He
in.
was beyond all of those things. He had
But
nothing.
I
He had
blame
nothing.
her. So let me tell you my 22 minutes in. So everybody who is clueless to what we are talking about, it is who the F did I marry? Chick came on TikTok, got 50 episodes and going into details about this guy that, and I'm breaking it down. She met in March, moved him in 2.5 weeks after because Atlanta or Georgia went on lockdown. Moved him in 2.5 weeks later. Not even a month in, he's talking about buying his house. Because if you listen, he talked about buying his house. But she even said in that, I was trying to figure out, is this his house? Is this our house? I'm trying to get out of whatever area she was in.
She wanted to move to Cobb County.
Yeah. So in that, he, like, even with that, with the quarantine, she said that she didn't want to quarantine by herself.
No, she said she didn't want to be alone.
Want to be alone. Thank you, Saint. She didn't want to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
So she asked, where are we going to quarantine?
Where
are we?
I'm always cautious of motherfuckers use we too early. That is a fucking spider sensey. We already.
But even with that, like,
level 5 clinger.
But let's talk about, I mentioned briefly my whole situation with my neighbor. I got a neighbor. I got a next door neighbor. And I could be on some like we, us, what we, there are moments where it's like, yes, you don't want to be by yourself. You know someone is close or you're dating someone. So with the whole situation with COVID and everything being locked down, you know that you had to, like, you couldn't really go anywhere. But they were still working, both of them, I think.
Was he working though?
I mean,
The Joyce says he was fired.
hold on. She
He
was
was
working. I'm
he was
sorry.
getting that unemployment. Remember, he was
I'm
faking them
sorry.
phone calls every morning.
And got
So,
those offshore.
so she said,
Offshore.
listen, she said, he be talking to his brother while I'm getting ready for work. That doesn't sound like a nigga getting ready for work. No, Dana. This is a cig of weed. Okay. So I'm sorry. Yo, she said, yeah, he'd be like, yo, he be talking to his brother, I be getting ready to work. You know, the at the end you found out, you know, that he ain't had no money. He was getting the unemployment check.
Unemployment, and probably, yeah, and you know, you was getting double during COVID.
You was getting a lot more money during
Yeah,
COVID.
remember that?
Yeah.
Nobody.
And the
And the
stimuluses
stimmy
and the stimmies.
got a good old stimmy.
So he was so okay, so then because he was paying all the bills.
He was paying all the bills.
Right.
But even in that moment, she said, I was happy.
And maybe got a PPP loan too.
Could have had that. 'Cause everybody, look,
If he's scamming everybody. Maybe.
I was looking at the list. I seen a couple of people I know.
Oh man, I'm gonna miss them.
That,
I know some motherfuckers. I was like, y'all, the feds is coming. They just take their time.
but even in that, she was like, she was excited that someone paid the bill. Even, let's go back to their first date. Like, you know, she got
The
the
rescue her with the tire.
and she was like, "Oh
Because a
my
new tire ain't cheap.
Oh my, he probably, I feel like it was used, but it may have been new. Oh yeah, because he was getting that money, so it may have been new. It may have been new. But she was like, she said, like, I felt so great because he did this for me. He changed my tire.
She thought it was the sexiest thing ever.
But that's like even one of the questions that I had, that you know, compromising our own values and ignoring red flags to pursue of love and stability.
But that's an age old affliction.
But it's true. But we say that, but she said, I
You think her story is the only story that's out there that's just
oh no, I know.
this
Look,
just ain't this is the one that's being told. And
I
she's probably out here triggering a bunch of motherfuckers right now.
I know of someone who has traveled to be in a space with someone who doesn't want them.
It's not just about not wanting them though. You guys will trim this down to the most hurtful, easiest thing to digest. The nigga was sick. The nigga had issues. And he was gaming people along the way
So he can
to
have
just
more to
make it. No, to just make it. You know why she really stayed? Because some of the best sex you probably get is from a homosexual. Nigga fucking to live. The hell?
say.
If you ever fucked to live, if you've never fucked to live, you don't understand. Okay? So what I'm see what I'm saying is he was just, like his family didn't fuck with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he had nothing.
Ebony's talking about some, and it is.
Look. She said she realized that no one gave a fuck about him. I used to work in homeless services in Baltimore. You want to see real survival mentality? Like, look at a motherfucker that ain't got nowhere to go and got to figure out every day how you gonna live.
Yes,
Nigga,
I know
you
have.
step on any and everybody just to be comfortable somewhere. If he didn't shack up with her, she said he was living in a studio. What's a studio in Atlanta these days? Well, not even Atlanta, because they was outside of
It was
Atlanta.
outside of Atlanta.
It was outside of Atlanta. What are you paying, like $400, $600, $700, $800 for a studio? Right? And here she show up with her shiny
her
brand new
her townhouse because
3-bedroom townhouse.
we were going to stay with me. No, but she pushed it, Antoine, and I think
Of course she pushed it. Listen, ain't nothing more intoxicating to indoctrinated women about their ideal happiness scenario than the man who is the fucking provider and wants to be in a monogamous, committed relationship. You know how many fucking extra
how
boxes that
do you
checks?
know someone in
They don't give a fuck who if they know them.
2.5 weeks though?
What I tell you the other? What I tell you before? You don't have to lie to a woman because if she like you enough, she'll lie to herself.
So a quick you said that. So quick thing, Dana. One thing she did mention towards the end on the last video, like not the last video, but somebody put something up on YouTube. She said that she grew up on welfare and this was something for her. And I'm happy she asked that because that is one of my key points also. Growing up on welfare, she might have prioritized materialistic things. Like, so the things that he was telling her that he was getting, the the car, the house, things like that. Even when the house didn't go through, like I would have left.
She mixed a lot of like Christian values about
And I
marriage
didn't
in her reasoning too, though.
and that was the thing. I didn't want to like that was the part that I was so upset.
But indoctrination is real. It's from what is taught and passed down in the homes, and if the homes are evolving around the church, well, you know how that is.
I know. I grew up. My stepfather was the pastor. We had church in our house. Like I know how that is.
I've been to Tuesday night church.
I've been to Monday, Tuesday,
Like, you know what I'm saying? I get it,
study
right?
service overnight. Like I've been through it all.
Like, oh my God, why am I in church on Tuesday? It's like
Well, I'm at church at 3 o'clock in the morning,
it's like it's
and
at a
we
strip
praying,
mall. This
and I
church
want
is
to
in
go.
a strip mall. So
But no, I'm
I
happy
want to go to
you
the
said that.
McDonald's at the end of it.
Stop it. Stop it. Because she even what was it? She even said like towards the end when she after she got married, she had mentioned a comment and it was kind of like, you know, I was happy that there was infidelity because that, because of God frowns upon divorce. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Yes,
Like she was elated when she found out he was cheating on her.
but I'm like, you ain't even been married for a year. Like you haven't even known this man for a year at that point.
I've s- so there's a I don't know if she's listening or not, but
No, my sister, I could say it. My sister met her now husband in like August. They were engaged. No, they met in may have been September, August. They got engaged in December and they married that next August. So it wasn't a year. So they met in September, they got engaged in December, and they got married in August, and they're still married. Like it can work. I know it's true. It can work.
listen to me. It can. But what I'm saying is it happens all the time, so frequently.
No, it
Like,
does.
so there was a young lady I met, and we weren't really in the same space, but like we acknowledged that there was enough there to like to let just let organic, what I'm saying, like happen, right?
Okay.
But in her mind, she wanted that happily ever after. She wanted that fairy tale.
I've been there.
Hold on, hold on.
I'm listening.
So as soon as the first guy came around offering it to her, and I'm telling you, I'll probably say this has been since a little before October. Okay.
Okay.
Like this, like just past October to just pass.
Okay, got it.
Right.
October. Okay.
Yeah.
Got
It's
it.
February now.
Okay.
She's 13 weeks pregnant. and she tells me that the marriage is on the way. Because, in her words, I said, "Ooh, well, life comes at you fast. Congrats on your upcoming nuptials." She says, "Life comes at you at the pace you pray for and are prepared for. Some call it fast."
Okay. Um.
It's November. She's 13 weeks pregnant, and this guy popped up somewhere around end of October, November.
But see, I get it. I get it. I know for me, and I know I briefly talked like once once 30 hit, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, I need to get married. But I remember being in a situation, the closest to this situation that I've ever been in. And I've mentioned it on other people's like platforms. I don't think I actually mentioned it on the podcast. So it was a guy, and I met him, I think, off a dating site. Who knows? Yeah, off a dating site. It was OK Cupid. This is when I was staying in Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
and we matched. It said he was divorced on there,
Okay.
and that it had to be the summertime. It was May because the flower show was like there, and that was supposed to be our first date. Was the flower show in Philly. So we matched, and he was telling me that he was a chef and he had his own catering business. He had recently divorced. Uh, he had one child. His other child passed away, and his ex-wife, um, she had a child previous before they had got married. He had said he had been divorced for a couple of years, whatever, da da da. When I met him at his job, he was at the what is it? The school Philadelphia school district. He worked in like a someone rented, a storefront, and it was more of cafeteria style. So I was like, okay, you lied about that. And I get it because he said he worked at a cafe. We didn't end up going to the flower show, but then it was like he was so consistent, and it's so sad now I realize that we never went on a real date. Like we never really went on a real date. So it was always, I'm busy, I'm this, I'm that. And I remember that like one time I had drove down to Richmond, I forgot what happened, and I asked him to ride. So the kids were younger. We ride down to Richmond, and we just so happened to pass a new built area. So he was like, let's go there and look at the houses. So, we go there, we start looking at houses, and we're just looking. We don't go in there in the intent of, "Ooh, I'm about to get a new house." Like that was not the thing. At the point I didn't want to come back to Richmond, so I wasn't planning on moving back at that time. So we go look at the house. We're talking to the lady, and we plan it off like, yeah, we've been together, whatever, da da da. And so when we get back to Jersey, he's like, I really want to move into a house, and I think, Richmond would be nice. I like the area, whatever, da da da. And I told him, I was like, we'll see. And even with us moving in, we didn't move in. He stayed at my house a lot because of how my schedule was. I worked overnight, so the kids were at grandma's a lot. And even in that, we were sharing each a space. But I still kind of pumped the brakes on a lot of things, even though it moved really quickly. I was like, hey, like if we decide to get a place, let's wait until my lease is up. That gives us at least 7 or 8 months to get to know each other. And if it's serious, then we can do it. Nah, he was only around for 3 months. And the only reason things fell off, even talked to grandma. Grandma out in Texas was like, no, my grandson is divorced. She said it. We go to church on Easter. He brings his son with us. We go to his mom's house out in Philly. And when we get there, his mom is giving me the stare of death. His sister is giving me the stare of death. And I was not wanted in that house. And when we left, By the time I got home, they were on the phone with him saying he needed to get back with his wife or ex-wife. So I'm asking, like, why do you need to get back with someone that you are already divorced with? And he's like, the pastor and this, and everybody wants to feel like we should have worked things out, but it's over. Talk to grandma. Grandma's like, it's over. He leaves the phone. That was on a Sunday. He left the phone in my car on a Tuesday. I pulled out the phone, looked at the text messages, saw the text messages between the wife. It was nothing as far as I love you, I miss you. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then mom and them still going through. This is Tuesday. I told him, call her right now and let's straighten this out. As soon as he called her, he was like, I don't want to be with you anymore. And she was like, are you with somebody? And then I took the phone and she said it. They never divorced. They were still married. He was gone for 4 months. No, 5 months, 5 or 6 months. He told her he needed space because they did lose a son a year prior to. He said he needed space, but they were never divorced. By that Friday, he went back home. I just want to put it out there. But I
Okay.
thought
Okay.
in that, and I say that because it felt good. It felt like it was real. Like it was like, oh my gosh, this guy really wants to be with me. This is the person who really wants to spend his life with me. Yeah, he gassed me up. He was a homosexual, but slightly not a homosexual because he was still married, but he needed a place to be. And his whole life was a lie.
Mm.
So I mean, that was the closest. And even in that, I remember I was hurt, but I got, I got over it. I was really hurt. I was butt hurt because it was like, oh my gosh, someone paid attention to me. They were telling me these things. Like I said, we never went on a date, but it
Mm.
was these promises that he was giving me where I felt like, oh my gosh, this is real. But it was around the time after 30. So it was like I felt like I had to get married.
Yeah. I see. Here's the thing about it, right? The whole indoctrination thing about every relationship has an end with marriage and children, right? That belief that we believe it so much that we don't even know what we believe for ourselves,
That's true.
because that's what we were told, right? And you get shamed in families. The most awkward questions: well, when you gonna have kids? And you know what I'm saying? Or why? Where's your man? Right? That is deep seated inherent trauma, right? And it pigeonhole people from being able to understand who they are meant to be within themselves, so they can truly stand in their truth, right? So even with if even with that whole, like, he was checking all these boxes, she was, there's a million stories of women ignoring red flags. There's a million stories of guys ignoring red flags, dodging bullets when you had a chance, giving outs when you've had a chance. But there's nothing more powerful. There's nothing more powerful than the hope that you found the person, your person. That's what they call it now, your person, even though I hate that term, right? Because it don't have nothing to do with romantic relationships. But, you know, that hope will expedite a lot of the background work that you need to do.
And I'm happy that you said that because I do agree. I feel like that hope of, like you said, I have my person. This is the person that I want to
Man,
marry.
man, 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 my
My,
man, my
my
man,
man, my man, my man.
my man, my man.
And we don't, we because of that, we, like you said, we don't take the time to get to see the red flags, because she said it 22 minutes in. I'm just saying, I got the synopsis of the whole story 22 minutes in. She said it. She said this was the man that she was going to marry. She found her person. Like, she felt when he was paying the bills that this was the person. Also, you got to think of where she, like, she felt like he was doing all these things. He was the general manager. This was before he got the supposed raise. Because
Mhm.
let's not forget, he became the VP with the car. But
Listen, the lies alone. That's a whole episode just about that nigga had it. He you know who had a better set of lies than he did, or just let me tell you the level that he lied to. If you've ever watched the original Catfish movie, the movie that
oh
prompted the
yes,
show,
oh my gosh,
that's the level of lies he hit. And I think that
Angela was on some,
right, she created whole personalities, and she was doing that shit from two computers
a little
in a
kid
small farm town home.
with two disabled kids
Oh my god, with her husband sitting in the other room,
right there.
right there. I don't know what she be
Send it to
doing on
hold
that.
on. Send it.
I don't know what she be doing on that wacky computer.
But even when Neve was sending the mail, it was going to an actual,
Nigga, she did. That's the level you have to lie at, yo.
and Neve was in love.
And
Like
let me
y'all,
ask you
if
something.
y'all didn't see
Let me
Catfish,
say something.
the movie.
I need niggas lies to not stop being surrounded by struggle, okay? Because they just pulling on the heartstrings. You know what I'm saying? Every time she should have had her like a motherfucker. Woo 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 woo. He hit her with a sob story.
Yeah.
Man, that shit was crazy though. But here's what I have to ask people, and this is where my issue with marriage comes around. One, I'm not in love with the concept of marriage. You have to be in love with the concept of marriage so you can become the people that are husbands and wives. You can't just say I want to be married. That shit don't work, right? That's why divorce rates is high, because everybody's like, I want to be married.
That's
Are
true.
you a wife? I want to be married. Are you a husband? Do you know what that means? Are you prepared for what that means? Are you ready to do something that is the hardest thing you'll ever do because you're constantly learning while you're doing it?
And learning that person also.
And that person who you haven't took no time to get the fuck to know. I used to like it. You know why I date terribly? I date terribly because my pace. I used to liken my pace to a diesel car warming up in the wintertime. Now I'm at sloth speed. I'm at sloth speed because I don't know you. I don't trust you yet. And you're not going to just get my vulnerability and open access to me because you cute or you nice to me. You got to show me some real work too. And motherfuckers hate that. Like
And
I've
no,
done
I
my
agree with
running.
that.
I've done my running behind motherfuckers. If you ain't walking with me, I'm not chasing you. I'm
But
not applying pressure. The fuck?
what you even saying, that was my one thing with her. I was like, she kept saying all the things that he did and his accolades and everything. And I was like, in my head, I thought about it, like, what work did you do as his mate to support him, the person
She
that you
provided the
felt.
house, and that's all she had to do. She provided the house. And he gracefully paid all the bills.
But what else other than a house?
The hope that he had all of these things that he said.
Because she wanted
Remind you, he was talking about multiple bank accounts and showing her screenshots
offshore,
and shit,
yeah.
right? He was ordering cars, and she was enamored by his seemingly like in charge status. She
But
won't
okay,
talk about that part. She'll hold herself accountable, but she won't get into the weeds about how like nigga, you turned all the fucking sensors off because this nigga was just checking boxes for you.
that part, and that's why I said 22 minutes in, I realized that what you just said, because he checked off all the boxes, she was willing to forget any values, anything to be with this man, because he, in the hopes of what he promised her, he was going to give, because it was so big, she was going to be patient, even with the house, when it was at a point where,
They
She was
lost the first realtor.
no, before they lost that first realtor, when she said within this first 2 hours, she was like, they found the house because she had gotten pregnant at that time.
Mm.
And she was applying pressure after she was pregnant. I gotta move now. Like, I got to. I don't want to have my baby here. We gotta move. We gotta move. He was looking at $700,000 houses. He was looking at
But that
this.
was the approval for it, right? He got approved for 750.
And she was like, cash on. I saw the Chase or whoever it was statement. So she was so excited by that. And when he said, yeah, like whoever they were working for with the realtor, and then he was like, yeah, I took care of it. I went through my friend. And so when the realtor called her and asked her, I think she had asked him afterwards, and that's when he had said he went through his friend. And she said, I went on Zillow or wherever it was to look at it, and I saw that it was what was it? Uh Under contract or something like that.
Could have
And,
been anybody. Could have been anybody.
and
You
then
honestly,
that's
she
what
wanted,
happened.
but she wanted to believe him, right?
So
She
she was
wanted
like,
to
when
believe
I
him.
saw it was under contract, I was like, yes, we have our house. Then we started going to Lowe's and we started buying things. And these are things that you wanted because I know for a fact this man wasn't doing all of this.
Check this out.
And then hold on, when she saw that it closed, she's like, where's my house? It closed. So then I called the realtor. And when I called the realtor, that's when I realized, and they told me that she sold the house to a couple. So she knew. Then when she confronted him, he said, I decided not to go with the house. And she said, before she went 4 hours in, she said, I knew he lied and I knew he was going to lie to me. I wanted to see what he was going to say, and I knew it was a lie, but I still had hope. You ain't even 2 months in. You ain't even married yet.
Check this out.
I'm sorry. I get so irritated like
Listen to me.
doing this.
The realest thing the nigga said was, I had to marry you
Oh
because you
yeah,
wouldn't have,
man.
because in a year you wouldn't have been my girlfriend. You would not have. So that tells you everything right there. He knew he was on hobosexual watch, nigga.
That
He was
part,
on
because what he
survival
say,
mode.
you can't kick me out my house.
He was ready to squat in that bitch. He was gonna squat that shit, yo. He got access. He was about to come squat in that bitch. And it was a good thing she was moving out. That was been
Oh,
the
I just thought about it, man. He could have been squatting at that other place because remember in Atlanta, they had that whole real estate, the chick who was acting like she was a real estate agent and
man. He
people
could
were
have been.
squatting in
He
the
could have
house.
been squatting in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's studio apartment in a basement. Look, this shit is wild. But the biggest takeaway from that has always been just like, ladies, slow down. I know you want your happy ever after. I know you want my man, my man, my man. I know you want to show your ring off at brunch. I know you want to do all these things that don't matter in a real marriage.
But
But
why
just
is the
slow
title like why is the
down.
title so important?
Because it means you've been chose. You've been chose by somebody else. Somebody wants you. That's why. I
That's
mean, we just the shit get pumped in our heads from an age. Everything around us promotes what we believe is right, morally right. You know what I'm saying? So we make these decisions based off of all of that, and we never really learn who we are and what we like and how we should live our lives.
because it's based off of somebody else. This
It's
is what
somebody
you're
else's.
supposed to do.
It's just a
And I
you've been your soul has been CC'd on this on this email,
that part.
right?
I had that conversation I think yesterday, and I said, I feel like, or day before, whatever. I don't know. My days is all mixed up now. Um, just saying that you make what your relationship, like, I'm a believer now of it's what we make it. Like, the relationship is based off of what we see and how we see it, not
Not
what someone else's standards are.
not society by no means, right? Because if it's making me happy and it's making me the best version of me, and the person with me is with me, and we it's our thing, then fuck what you thinking. Give a
That's
shit. But the problem is the indoctrination is so real. Some people will never get to stand in their truth. Not comfortably. That's why you have down low niggas. Can't stand in their truth. They don't have the space to stand in their truth. Even now in this climate, the indoctrination is so strong. Hey, gay. You are. Okay, never mind. I'm not doing this. But I'm just saying,
thank you.
right? The indoctrination. Think about it. In this day and age, with the letter crew going so hard in the paint, why are there still down low people? You can't even because in your own family, you can't live in your truth because you're still worried about being rejected. Because the indoctrination is so strong.
Yeah, we do. We do what people's their opinions matter. I'm not
In
saying it
everything.
does, but
Nigga,
they people still feel like they matter.
there should be no reason why women are panicking at 40. Panicking. Oh shit, I'm almost 40. I haven't done. The fuck? This the best. You about to hit the best time. You really, I see it all the time, man. And it's just like
Remember, I
I hate to see my sisters letting go of the bullshit only after life has spinning round hill kicked them in the face with a Gore-Tex boot.
someone said to me a couple of weeks ago that, we were talking about dating, and I told them, like, I'm just at the point where I just don't have time for BS. Like, I'm not going to feed into it. I'm not going to entertain it. And if I have to be by myself, I'm okay with that.
But it ain't really just about being
It,
by yourself, right?
but
It's just about
it's just being happy and not, like, I'm happy. Like, all last year, I'm trying to do a catch me if you can. I ain't put no vacations together, but all last year around this time, I was gone every weekend. I'm enjoying the life that I have. I'm happy where my kids are right now. I have a son in college. My daughter is about to go to high school. I am happy and I'm content. And the guy said to me, like, no woman deserves to be alone. And I said, but I'm okay. Like, stop trying to put me in a relationship with somebody.
I don't want people to think that this is me tearing down family structures and shit because I believe we need those still. But you have to be honest about who you are as a person, whether you have the capabilities or the, what I'm saying, the willingness to create that family structure and and a marriage and a relationship like that. And if not, you need to be honest with yourself and say, you know what, I am better with myself. I
Mhm.
am better being single. I am better just dating because I'm not. What's the term? I'm open, but I'm not desperate. I'm open. One day, you know what? Somebody might come and knock me the fuck off my feet, and it should be that undeniable for me. So I am open to that. But what I'm not is desperate to fill some weird void that I've created in my
That
mind.
part.
Call it an only child syndrome. I don't know.
Maybe because
It might
I'm
be.
only a child.
But I wasn't. I mean, I was my mom's only child. I had a sister. I had cousins around me that were my age. I wasn't lonely. I had my friends. I did shit. I wasn't just sitting in a house. Like when I hear like only child syndrome and that whole, but there was a lot of time where it was just me
Yep.
having to get to know me.
Me. And I tell people all that, like, just like me, I'm my mother's only child, but my dad has 10 kids. I grew up with my cousins on my stepfather's side. But I tell people all the time, like, I'm okay with dealing with me because I've had to deal with me in spaces by myself a lot. I've had to entertain myself. I like when I'm at home, I can go days without watching TV. I don't I like to be in silence a lot because I'm used to dealing with myself. Like even though everybody was around, but at home I was by myself. I had my own room even when we had foster kids. They were foster kids. They were there temporarily. So, and when we had family come, I'm okay with being by myself. Yes, I would love to be in a relationship. Yes, the thought of marriage sounds great. If I get married, I get married. If I don't, I don't. If I have a long-term life partner, that is fine, but I'm okay where I am right now.
For sure. Listen, niggas was struggling during COVID. I was in this bitch giving this dog 2 shows a night. Okay, like you would have thought I was Usher. Like, ta-da, right? Look, this is post I put. This is me on New Year's Eve, and it's the chick she was dancing in front of her cat. That was that was that was me because some of my best times are to myself. And it allows me to do a lot of self-reflection and allows me to do a lot of thinking and just focusing on me. Because the problem is a lot of niggas want to be in these relationships and they're not even the best version of themselves yet.
No.
And you know the most irking thing I've heard while dating? I'm a relationship type. I've always just been in relationships. What have you worse than that chick that been like whatever you like? Right? What type of food you like? What type of food you like? Like, what have you ever done for yourself?
Yeah.
You've always been in the service of someone else.
And it's so hard for those people to be alone
Oh my god, I
because
couldn't
they go
I
through.
couldn't imagine that existence. And you wonder how fucking trauma bonds get created. The first trauma is your ass can't be alone, and then you bringing in whatever trauma he bringing in, and you wonder how a trauma bond gets started. The fuck, yo. No. Wake up, people. I need Lawrence Fishburne wake up. Wake up. Yo, what is going on? We're gonna be fucked for a while, yo.
So I want to ask too, because I feel like, we talk about the bad. And in this, we're recapping or trying to, it's a lot to uncover. I don't know if you had any points that before I asked,
I
did you
made them.
have any points
I'm
that you
making them.
wanted
I'm making them because this story is just the first one that went viral. This
that
story
part?
has been going on forever. And
It has.
across the United States, across like I can tell you stories of running into homosexuals. I can tell you stories of running into scammers. And then you got a scammer and a homosexual. And I
Um,
don't even think he really was a scammer. I think he was just a homosexual who was
and that could have been it to
just just
to get in.
just
That's what they do.
just down on his luck. But the deeper dive is why he has built the world of lies around him. Like he grew up as a twin, right? So I wonder what happened to
But
where
the
he had to
other
cut
twin
himself off from reality like that.
so I know being with my ex that I lived with, right? He the way he perceived his reality, the way he perceived his family was not what it was. So his mom had 4 boys. And I remember when we broke up, like he kind of broke down and like just gave me everything because I didn't understand why he walked around like he was this person. Like, yeah, I know when people stay in DC or live outside of DC and they're from the South, they want to tell people they live in DC. And I always say he had a good resume because he made it seem like he was an engineer. No, you work in facilities, like you changing the light bulb, sir. But I didn't know that until getting in. He said that he was a single father. That wasn't true. But when it came to his family and where he fell off, mom had 4 kids. Mom was an alcoholic. Oldest brother was an alcoholic. But the first 2 older brothers had the same dad, and the last 2, him and his younger brother, had the same dad. And he used to say, my mom loves them more than she loves me. And I'm like, why do you say that? Because she got him this gift. She got my older brothers this. They always had that. But it wasn't their mother giving it to them. It was their dad's family giving them those things. And I told him, that was not your mom. That was their family. So you can't look at her as she's playing favorites, because she wasn't. So he was always trying to give to his mom. Like when he got paid, I know he was paying her rent. I know he was paying her rent, because wasn't no way that we ain't had no money. Well, he ain't had no money. And he felt like he wasn't loved. Like he felt he had made um a comment about how, she never told him that she loved him. And only time she told him was when he graduated high school. And so he was always trying to show he is the most successful out of all of them. And he always tried to show that.
He had different issues.
But it was an issue. I mean, he
I mean,
had
I
family.
mean,
And so he put on this persona around everyone else that he lied and was someone that he wasn't.
listen, if you was born anytime pre or post Reagan era, you grew up with issues. You know what I'm saying? You grew up with issues. Your hope that in the time you get to around my age, you've made considerable steps to solve some of these issues and put some work into like dealing with just the inherent traumas of being young black in America or black in America, right?
Of course.
So we we have to leave people who doesn't who you can have clear signs that that work is not there. And we have to be more vigilant because honestly, we see the signs better when we start doing the work ourselves.
That part.
Right? Blind and blind. You Ray Charles in the orgy, you just feeling around right now. But if you do the work, I promise you, everybody will start to look like. You ever see that one movie that motherfucker was like, he could see demons in motherfuckers and shit, right? Like
Oh
you could,
yeah, what was that? I
like you
remember
could,
that.
but that's what it would be like, right? Because you're doing the work, you're using the tools, and then you start seeing and people that's just not right. You start to recognize the things even from like in yourself. I
But
can
she
tell you
she
all my
said
old
that
issues
though.
were, huh?
She said that in her aftermath. I mentioned that right before we got on. She said that per her own words, her realization was he never loved her. He didn't love himself. He didn't like her, and he got excited by her being excited by the things that he promised her, like the car. She said she was excited to have a husband to take her to London, and she was excited to have a husband to buy her a new BMW.
The only one of those that really mattered was that he did not love himself.
That part.
I don't care. It wasn't never about you.
It wasn't.
It was never about you.
It was
You
about
were an opportunity for him to feel safe. And
yep.
he did whatever he had to do. That's real survival mode. And I'm mad because she started this thing off talking about him being like a narcissist
Nope.
and a liar. No, this nigga who had been through hell already, telling about his record, who's probably got some mental challenges that has never been diagnosed.
That part.
He met a safe landing spot and you opened the gates. And he did everything possible to hold his space there.
As
He
long
did everything you needed him to do to stay in that space.
and
Like
like
I said, the only
just to
realization that
say he
she
was
should have been focused on is that he did not love himself. And the only truth he ever told her was, I had to marry you.
You.
I had to, because you was gonna leave me. That's right. It. Don't get no worse than that. That is pure survival mode. And she gonna be left with that scar. And everybody who heard that damn fucking TikTok for the last 3 days is gonna be left with that scar too. Niggas, y'all better, yeah, boy, niggas, you better have all your paperwork on these dates now.
Yeah, I saw somebody do a real lady Amber, I can't think of her name, and she went into the bedroom where her husband was like, "Next time you on the phone, I need you on speakerphone."
Nigga, nigga. I saw this chick on Instagram. She's a comedian, Booker Square, yo, and she was like telling her husband, she was like, we gotta reevaluate all of this. She was like, we already married and got the kid. He's like, I don't care. I know she was being funny, but like, yeah, she did definitely started a maelstrom, right? If you
But
if
I
you
do
sat through
that.
all of that, because you got baked in thinking he was the most terrible person in the world, and a lot of people are gonna still leave there thinking he's the most terrible person in the world. No, he was the most damaged person in the world, and you took him in because he checked boxes.
Someone had I seen comments, and I'll see if I can find one. It was like so many people, like you said, felt bad for her. One person was like, I felt bad that he did that to her. And I'm like,
He did
no,
that to anybody.
yeah, it wasn't just
I
her.
mean, first
Even
of
the
all,
ex-wife said it. Like,
first of all, the
it
first
must be
the,
real bad.
the
No,
first red flag was that nigga was on 2 different dating sites under 2 different
that
names.
part, two different names,
2 different names.
two different,
You didn't give a shit at that point.
and we matched on both.
Soon as nigga, as soon. And then they said like he didn't even remember that they matched. He didn't even know they matched on both, remember?
Yeah,
Right? So, but as soon as he brought that tire, oh
perfect,
my God, this nigga brought the tire on our first date. Niggas,
and fixed it.
I know why you think it was. I know you think it was fake because she said. I know exactly why you thought it was fake. You thought it was fake because she said her favorite place was Cheesecake
Okay,
Factory.
no, that wasn't the reason I thought it was fake.
You sure?
I
Because
thought it
because
was
I
fake,
definitely chuckled at that shit too. Because I go to Cheesecake
and,
Factory
yeah.
every year on my birthday.
So I thought it was. I didn't. I feel like some of it is real. I'm not saying all of it is fake. I
You
feel
think
like
she
yes.
embellished a little bit
I
though?
feel like she embellished a lot. Because
Mm.
my thing was even the words that she was using, even when she said, when he left and he signed the divorce papers, like the words she kept using, like he left his Invicta watch, he left his
I got one of those.
I know. I know a lot of guys who have them.
Cause they cheap. They the cheapest, fanciest looking watches you can buy, but they big as fuck.
And you can get a steal on a whole bunch. He
Yeah,
left his championship belt. He left his
his
like
Jordans,
his
his
whole
suits, his
yeah,
Cole Haans.
you're still stuck on the financial side. And even with that, and I'm happy I mentioned that too, because even one of my points was like, why does material wealth often overshadow trustworthiness? Like you were so stuck in the end. Like I thought it was fake because it's like you're still mentioning these brands. You're still mentioning the coulda, woulda, shouldas, but you're so hurt.
All
And
right.
yes, hold on. And yes, you can't. You said it like no, she couldn't look him up. But trust me, I look up people for free.
Well,
I mean, all you gotta do age, name, location. It comes up right there.
here's the thing. He was
And some court
she
records
would
go.
have had to do a deep dive because he was definitely he'd already built alternative
But she could
branches
have
in
paid
his.
for a criminal.
he-
She could have paid for one.
She not doing that. We already understand she was lost.
She
Okay,
did, but she did it
she did it
two,
after she
two
did
weeks
it
after
after
she was
resentment, all of
married.
the resentment from the lies, like when the lies started coming out. And remember, she said
Not
by
that
the time
everything
she said,
got bad. No,
but
she
look, she said
said
by the
she got
time she
married in
started doing that,
January.
by the time she started doing that, she was only at like 5% of the lies.
Hold on. But Antoine, they met in March,
Uh huh.
right? They signed the marriage certificate in December.
Okay, yeah,
They
that's
got
how.
married in January.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of January, that's when she realized she effed up.
Right, but she wasn't gonna go nowhere.
That's when she started digging. And she wasn't going anywhere, but she started digging. And I felt
Ooh,
like
she
she
started digging in January. When was it?
she started she started digging in
But
January.
the miscarriage was in June, right?
The miscarriage was she got pregnant twice, I thought, somewhere.
I know the one miscarriage was in like June, and
That
then
no,
she had
the
the
one
one
was
she had
in May.
surgery for.
That was May.
That
It
was
was
in May.
it was May.
But that would have been in that same year that she
That was
supposedly started digging.
no. This all happened in a year and a half. She was divorced by a year and a half. She met him March. She got pregnant in April.
Well, technically, she didn't stay that long then.
No, she didn't stay that long, but she married him.
I mean, but that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. Listen, anytime you get married that fast, and fuck all that. God knows, and He knows, and He'll do it. If He knows, He'll do it. And boo, boo, boo.
And
Fuck
I
all that.
should have, but she even said I should have listened. God protected me, and I had a praying mom. The signs were there, my man. Like
Where was your antennas?
that part.
But you know what? I'll say this. One of my biggest weaknesses is that because it was just me and my mom, and she was working one or two jobs trying to make sure that we were always good. She said no to me a lot. She said no to the like things I really thought I wanted. And one of the biggest things that I've been doing since I've been in a very good place for myself is getting those things. Right? Getting those, like going out and getting those things. Like I got a bunch of shoes that I take care of and I put in a box after I wear. I wash them, I clean them and put them back in the box after I wear them because I didn't get to have these things growing up. Right? And so I'm taking care of them, but I'm also making sure I'm running out here to attain them. Like I had one summer, I called it my drug boy summer because I was just buying all the shoes I saw the dope niggas wearing back in the day that I couldn't get.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it took a report card of straight A's to get my first pair of Jordans.
Now I remember I got my flights. I saved up 40. I think they paid that. They was like 70 something dollars, my first pair of flights.
I got two good pair of sneakers for school every year. Like,
I only got one.
you know what I'm saying? Like alternative colors.
I
Right? Right.
bringing me back.
I could not wait to get a job. Do you understand what I'm saying? Spend my little money. Woo woo woo. But that part, like, yeah, you can get enamored by the idea of things because we live in a world that teach you that success and happiness associated to material wealth and growth and attainment. And we get doubled up on images that teach you that this is what I'm rolling in my inback, Mercedes, popping lobster tail. You know what I'm saying? Like that's over and over in your head,
Yeah.
right? And you believe that. I'm so glad I'm off that hamster wheel. For real. Like I live in a one bedroom apartment that I've been in for 18 years. And it's my little place. And I love it. It's me and my dog in here. I don't need all of this other shit. Because the chasing that keep you broke and keep you trapped.
No, I agree. That's even like, me making the decision to move to stay in Richmond. It's like as much as I love Northern Virginia, I'm like,
If you can't afford it, don't be here.
I can afford it.
I'm not saying, but,
No, I'm
but,
just
but you know
saying
how many people
what I
live here beyond their means?
and that's what I said. I wanted to be comfortable. Like I wanted what I wanted, and I can get the space and be comfortable in it without being stressed out. Even with me buying my car, buying a luxury car, I've had Sentras. I bought like both my Sentras, I bought myself. I never had anybody co-sign for me. And even my places, when I stayed in Jersey, I've never had anybody co-sign. I've always gotten what I was able to afford. And so be buying a luxury car, that was hard. that was the hardest thing for me. But it was like I wanted to have something that I liked. And hey, I did it. And I feel like a lot of people tend to look at me not because of that, but it's like, why did you get this place? Why did you move here? If this is something that I want to do and I know I'm good, let me enjoy me. Like you said, like I want to, like, even if I were to move to Northern Virginia, I just know I'm being a small box. Like I could be out there, but why live in a box just for the title of being in Northern Virginia?
Because luxury and attainment is how we model success. That's why when you're talking to people and the first thing they say is, "What work do you do?" They need to validate.
I'm a specialist, and I say that all the
Oh,
time.
I'm a 1099 contractor.
Yeah, I
You know what I'm saying? And if I'm being a real dick, I just be like, I drive Uber and I got a mixtape on
that
SoundCloud.
part.
I drive for Uber and I have a mixtape on SoundCloud. Buy my shit.
And I don't like that. And I want us to talk about that, later on, about that, having, and my cousin, he brought it up, you know, people in different, as far as jobs and different levels, white collar, blue collar, and how does that look and how does that affect dating?
A lot.
It does.
That's why it's so much easier to check boxes when you look good on paper. That's why you got grown ass women on national TV talking about, I'm not dating no bus driver. They create these gaps and then wonder why we fall in them.
But I need to have somebody who know how to fix a car. I'm sorry.
And I don't want to be the only person in the house that know how to cook. Okay? So
That part. I mean, and that's why I said those traditional, as far as tradition and
we don't have to
family.
do tradition. We just have to be honest about who we are. And then if we're going to blend our union, then we got to cover the other person where they fall short.
Yeah,
All right? Yeah.
people aren't willing to do that.
No, they not. And then you want to
It's
convince me that
it's
you want to
like
be in a
her,
marriage, but you want to convince me that you want
what
to be in a marriage.
she wanted, and lost sight of
But hold on.
every red flag that was.
Hold on. Say that again. Listen, tell me about that, right? You don't want to fill in the holes. You don't want to be strong where I'm weak at. But you convincing me that you want to be in a marriage. You can't even do the fucking prerequisites to being in a blended union like marriage. Because if I'm telling you that I suck at planning, it doesn't mean I don't want to go out. But if you sit around here waiting for me to make a plan, you're going to get pissed
That part.
because I suck at planning. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be facetious. I am very spontaneous. I suck at planning and my mood dictates everything. So if I don't feel like doing shit, I don't have a fucking plan. What are you doing? I don't, nothing. Nothing. And then when I finally decide to do something, when I say it's a game time decision, I'm the last one there because I made a decision to go 10 minutes before I got there. You know what I'm saying? I am king of the who gonna be there? Okay. Nah, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. All right, know what? I'll be there. Fuck it. I'm coming. Unless it's something uber important that I know I gotta be at. Like Friday. I gotta go to dinner. It's my chapter's founder date. We doing dinner. I'm going. I know I'm going to that. Ask me what I'm doing Saturday.
What you doing Saturday?
I don't have no fucking clue. Okay. But I'm pretty sure there's somebody waiting on around for me to make a plan for them. Right? And I wish I had one.
Saturday.
But I might not feel like doing shit on Saturday, and I'm not gonna make a plan that I can't stick to. And then what? Like, what do I want to do? Man, I want to be out here in DC getting carjacked for my little Dodge. The fuck?
That part.
I'm just trying to get some gas and some roll-ups. Why am I getting carjacked?
That part. That's why I don't even want to be outside. That part.
Right? You like then I'm gonna lose my car and $100 on this date. The fuck? I don't know, man. This shit crazy. But you know what? She won't be the last viral moment like that.
No.
What she just did was she just wrote a blueprint, and we about to see some more stories like this.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't have one to share.
No ideas original.
I mean, I
I
just
don't have one to share
hold
too, but
on,
fuck
hold
it.
on.
I feel
So,
like I can
so,
make one up though. I
so
feel
let
like, oh boy, I feel like I can lie one up real quick.
So I got to tell you, even though we towards the end, because I told you I wanted to tell you on, so we can probably, hopefully I get a reel out of this. Look, may go viral in this moment.
Oh yeah, you got
What
ran up
happened
on.
this weekend?
You got ran up on, right?
Yes.
Oh wow.
So Friday.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
Okay.
on, hold on. Let me tell you this. Because the day I called you, when this was happening to you, you
All
couldn't
in
talk to
real
me,
time. I
right?
talked
This what I thought was the wildest shit of my night, right? My boy, right? Somebody matched me, and we're having a conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked to say, hey, what about my profile? Convince you to match. And they'll say certain things, whatever. And I'm like, well, I'm looking at yours, and I kind of got some honesty up in there. Like, don't want kids, don't have kids, smoke pot. You know what I'm saying? Got a dog, right? And so when I see certain things in people's profile, I wonder what made you match. Did you really read everything? Like, or did you just hit the hot spots and it was like, yes, he cute, right? So when I asked her about it, she got defensive, and next thing I know, she going hard, and then oh god, man, it was so fresh. She unmatched like so fast, right? She unmatched over like some wild shit. Like she unmatched after she said some like off the wall shit, and I wish you would have let me just tell you then, because I know you would have wrote it down for me. But that was the night I was trying to call you, because it was like, yo, this shit
I guess
just happened.
it must
And then
be full moon.
you was getting ran up on. So your shit definitely Trump. So please tell me what happened, yo.
All right, hopefully Instagram, y'all don't get knocked off. I may have the guys at my house and we may actually go through this whole story of what happened, because someone
There was witnesses.
yes, because someone felt, the guy said, he told me, he said, I feel like me telling my side of the story, he felt like he needed to tell his side too. So him and I may be on this live together. So what happens is we're celebrating my friend's birthday. We're at
Mm-hmm.
a spot that we've been at before. I've only been there once, other than the time that I was there that night. So it's my second time there. There is someone, and I know they don't mind, but until I get them on here, I'm not mentioning names. But they want to come on the podcast. So
We
um,
gonna bring them on?
we're gonna bring them on. I gotta set a date where we can all get here, but they want to come on. The first time I met them, they said they wanted to come on. So there was a group of guys. Well, one guy who frequents that place often. He does the bar hopping during happy hour, not just rinky dink bars. These are nice upscale bars where that loud mess is not allowed. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying this. So we see it, two guys come in. My friend and I was like, let's go over there. Go over there. Guy started talking to me, nice looking guy. We started talking, and we're flirty and we're laughing and playing and being playful. So my friend's friend was like, hey, since it's your birthday, let's go head to another spot, another, you know, spot, and we'll have drinks there, trying to get over there before happy hour ends. It was like, all right, cool, because I'm trying to make it quick. It was a little bit more, we were a little hesitant going back and forth. So we finally decide to. So when we walk out, the guy and I are like, yeah, we together. Like, this my boo. Like, we're playing around. Just met. And so he opens the door for me, shuts the door in everybody else's face, like, bump all y'all. This my girl. So we're holding hands walking to the parking lot. And my friend is riding to me to this next spot. We pass by her car first so she can put her balloons and a gift in the car. We go to my car. He's walking me to my car with her. So it's us three there. And then a car pulls up. As my friend said, the baby Ultima pulls up. That's what she called it, the baby Ultima. So somebody rolls down the window and it's a woman and she was like, why did you invite me to come here and you with somebody else? And so I'm like, oh, well, this show boo. I'm sorry. I'm in my head like, I'm sorry. I didn't say anything. So I'm looking. He was like, what are you talking about? I didn't invite you here. And she was like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. I got your balance. Mind you, this is Friday. We know what Valentine's Day was. So I'm like,
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So she was like, I got your Valentine's Day gift in my car. Where's my flowers? Where's my flowers? He was like, I didn't invite you here. He was like, you had your chance. You effed up. Like, why are you here?
Well, that makes it more real.
So we just like at a pause because I'm like, is this real life?
I mean, because you just met him, right?
I just met him 10
Okay.
10 minutes. We ain't even at 30 minutes. So then now she calling me all kinds of bees and you with
Oh,
her. Yeah, I didn't say anything because I'm
the Jersey Devil ain't come out.
nah, not even my Cleveland. Nah. Because me, it's like you're in a car, I don't know what you got. So I'm not trying to be confrontation. I don't know you.
This is in Richmond.
This in Richmond. So I don't know
Yeah,
what
you was
got in
smart.
your car. Yeah.
You was smart.
So she was like, he's crazy, he's this, he's that. And he was like, so my friend is like, look, go in your car and we gonna meet at Benny's. That's not the name of the place. She was like, just meet us at Benny's. Get in your car now and just meet us. So we get in the car and he calls me and apologizes. He was like, I did not invite her there. I don't know why she came. I told her where I was at, but I did not invite her there. So
Crazy you did.
we go to the next spot. And so he's not there yet. And it's two other guys. One of the guys, he's there and he's like, I haven't seen her in months. Like, I don't even know why she popped up. He was like, this is crazy. They were like, we had to like speed on the highway to get away from her because she started trying to follow them to where we were going. So then
We
it
have
was
a
like,
level 5 stalker.
so then even the other friend was like, he came and he apologized. He was like, my friend told me not to talk to her. And, I, took her on the trip a month after I met her, because somebody had said, she had said that she, never had been on one. And he was like, I took her out. But he even said he's been married before. So he even said he dates like he's in a long-term relationship. His friend told him that's where he messed up.
He doing the most.
So
he learn lines early as fuck. See, it be niggas' fault too though.
and I told him, I said, you still needed to like, even though after the trip things went bad, you engaging with her still gave her some type of hope.
Left that access door open.
That part, because he even said they were still going out and they were still doing things, but he told her what it was.
Now I will say this, because dudes don't get to be comfortable
though,
they
so
don't. I know, but dudes don't like to don't get to be comfortable in their pace. So they feel like they have to speed it up too, especially if they think they're gonna lose what they convince themselves is a good woman, even if he ain't really ready for her, even if he ain't really like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, I can tell you some shit.
So, we get to the new place. We're in there for like 15, 20 minutes. And we're all talking. And it's funny, Matt Skills had came in. It was weird. It was just some weird stuff. I seen a couple.
Hey, he from Richmond. Stop it.
I know, but I seen a couple of people that like I knew their faces. So this was a nice, like, low key place. This wasn't no hood bar that we were at. All the, I'm just saying that. So all of a sudden, I hear behind me, "You still with this B?"
She got a tracker on this nigga. She had a tracker on that nigga, yo. She had an Avengers style tracker on that nigga. She had a Wakandan tracker on this nigga.
So he was like, why are you here? He was like, I told you I didn't want to talk to you, whatever that.
You know why? Because all the Horcrux is not killed yet. Them niggas is still attached like Harry Potter and Voldemort.
So
You gotta kill all the
um
Horcrux.
so she's in, you with her, whatever da. So where he was standing, even if she tried to swing, she couldn't do anything. And that's, I respect him
You
for
thought
that.
that was coming?
I didn't know what I didn't. So here's the thing. I never acknowledged her at any point of all of this.
That made
I
it
never
worse.
looked at her.
Made it even
That
more
made her
mad.
that pissed her off more.
And
I
she
never
called
looked,
you everything but a child of God.
and I kept talking to everybody else and sipping my drink like she wasn't talking to me. So
Wow.
then his friend puts his hand around me. He was like, "Look, we ain't for the drama because now people looking in the bar, but it's so loud that everybody's not looking. But the bartenders is kind of looking like, what is going on? So me and his friend get a little closer because it's like y'all ain't getting us kicked out for y'all mess. So she going on and on. My friend stopped. Where you go, Antoine? I
I'm
hear you.
still here. Go
Where you?
ahead.
Oh,
Talk.
okay, okay, all right. So I hate when you leave me on the screen by myself. So, anyways, um, she, my friend tells her basically like, "Hey, like I understand you're upset. I understand you're hurt. Like, but you're embarrassing yourself. You know, at this point, you're embarrassing yourself. And if this man is continuing to tell you that he doesn't want you or like you, you need to go." I'm paraphrasing because I wasn't paying attention. I'm only going off of what they said to her. So she leaves out. Are you listening? Twine. I'm gonna wait, y'all, because I know he ain't listening for this second. And I need him to listen. Did you put your headsets back on yet?
Yes. What are you talking
Okay.
about?
So I was saying that my friend told her like don't embarrass yourself or whatever. So she leaves out, and then I think like 10 minutes later, his friend and I noticed that we think she walked into the bathroom because she had like this shiny wig hair. The hair was kind of shiny, so you couldn't help to notice her hair. So I was like, I think she just went in the bathroom. He was like, yeah, I think so too. Mind you, everybody else don't know what's going on. Me and a friend looking and paying attention. Sure enough, she come out that bathroom, come back over. If this was me, you would drag me out of this place. He said, I wouldn't drag you out of any place. He was like, why are you still here? So, she was like, you got me embarrassing myself out here.
You what?
It gets better.
Moi, me,
It gets better.
got you
So
at
she's
here.
going back and forth with him or whatever. Again, I can't see behind me. I can only hear. She leaves out.
Mhm.
We're in there for about another hour. So then the friend who convinced us to go there, he was like, "Hey, let's go to this place because I know somebody that's going to be there, and I'm trying to support them. So let's go there." So as I get up out off the bar, he goes to grab my hand. Mind you, he done bought like 20 women over. It's about 10. Somebody was having a birthday party. Bought the shout out to the girls whose birthday and the lemon drops because he claimed somebody that was over there follows us. So because she said my face looked familiar. So shout out to whoever was over there in them free lemon drops that he paid for y'all. So we paid for a party, got them some lemon drops. He was like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "I'm good. I'm drinking water at this point." And so I get down, and he was like, he had his hand out. I said, "You sure you want to hold my hand? Because last time we held hands and left out of here, you know." And so he looked, we laughed. So I grabbed his hand. We tried to do the hand thing again. So our car, so we're on, I'll say where we're at. We're on Cary Street. So Cary Street is a one-way street and it's small. And we're going across the street to the car. So set a car, one or two cars go by, and my friend is on one side of him, I'm on the other. We're holding hands. And as we go out, the parking is on both sides. So as we go through the car, it's a car going slow. As soon as we step out on the street, this car speed up on us.
Vehicular homicide. She's about to run y'all down. Period. I can't have him. You can't. Did you see your life flash in front of you? Was it sad?
Hold on.
Oh
Hold
my
on.
god. This is why I don't go outside. She almost ran you down.
So
Like
we
the
back up.
dog you is.
So he was like, "Oh my," because we see the car, and he was like, "Oh, dang!" The car started speeding up. So she pull up. She was like, "Really, such and such?" Because we was holding hands. Antoine, at this point, I just bust out laughing.
I know you can't really hold this against him, but this is also another opportunity to understand when you have to cut someone's access off. And it would have been cold, but you would just say that I'm in a part of my life where like I don't even entertain this shit. And you got this shit going on. So
But
I'm gonna be
okay,
over here.
so as she pulls up, I'm laughing. I go sit on the bench because I'm like, this, like,
Nigga, you almost died by vehicular.
I even told them, I said, this
It should have
great
been too
podcast.
much. Nah, it should have been too much bitches ago.
So here's the thing, and when we were talking, so we end up going to the other place, right? And he had said, like, and his friends, and he had said, he was like, I don't do this. I don't have this in my life.
Yeah, you do
And-
right now.
But that's what I said. I said, when you don't cut someone off, this is what happens. When
No, it can happen when you cut someone off.
it can happen when
The
you
problem is
too, but
you have to understand who and when to cut off. Right? And some people need to be cut off hour one. He definitely needed to be cut off hour one. She needed to be cut off probably some days ago in his months ago in his life.
months ago.
Right? But like that type of unstableness is not contained to the person that caused it. It's who's ever in vicinity.
But I feel like even with that, I've never had anything that extreme. And I remember dating
How
a
long
guy.
you been in Richmond?
I'm
This might
always,
happen.
and then I
This might happen again.
but I don't date.
this might happen again.
I don't date in Richmond now.
Okay, but you see why now, right? It's too small. First of all, it's too small.
Even with him, the more I talk to him, the more it's like I notice that we are in like the same circle of, like, we are like,
There's a Venn diagram where y'all in it.
yeah, literally, and how we didn't cross paths, me,
It happens.
relatives, everything. Like it's
It
weird.
happens.
So I brought up my situation because I even told him this too. Like, I remember dating the one guy in Florida, and he had came here, and someone called me. I don't talk to. Don't I talk to them, but I didn't really like. Shut up. Like I didn't talk to them for some months.
Catch yourself.
And they called and they were like, I'm in Richmond. They have never been in just like on some I'm in Richmond. So I froze. I didn't know what to do. And I fumbled the ball in that moment.
Mm-mm-mm.
And so
Could you be in a room with everybody you dated and not sweat a bullet?
everybody.
If I was in a room with everybody I dated, I'd be the host with the most. I wouldn't sweat a bullet.
And there would have to literally be two people that couldn't be in that room.
It don't matter because here's the thing: like if
And
you
it's
end
not
if
about
you
being
end them
loving,
if you
it's
end
about
them all if you
them.
if
how
you
they
end them right or you repair them right, it shouldn't be no problems.
That's why I said two people. One I can't. I've tried to be cordial with because I have to, so we know who this person is. And then my ex and Woodbridge. That's it. Those are two people. And the only reason my ex and Woodbridge is because we have not talked since we broke up.
Yeah, no, I'd have just went home or went somewhere else that night and told my boys, "Listen, I'll holler at y'all later," because he was hanging with your folks, right? Them two, he was hanging with other
He was,
guys,
he
right?
was, yeah, he was
So
originally
yeah,
out
yeah,
with.
I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and kick it. I'm
So
gonna go do
that's
something else.
so even at that point when we left the place on Cary, he was going to do that. And then so what happened was when she pulled up, we all went the opposite way. And
Now
we got
you should have exited before they got to the second spot.
so
Like when it happened in the first spot, that
the
was enough.
first
That should have been
spot,
enough. That should have been enough.
it was kind of so okay, let me explain the first spot, right? And I know what you're saying. And I'm not defending him.
I'm not saying you defending anybody. I'm just saying you should
The first, I know for me, the first spot, the only thing with the first spot is I think because I thought it was a joke, like somebody playing around.
Now you're lying to yourself.
I did. I thought the person was playing around. But
Flag on
then when
play.
I thought I realized that it was serious, it's like, okay, I don't know you. And that was my thing. Like, I don't like, yeah, you got my number, but I don't know you. So I can't really like exit because again, I'm not thinking that she gonna pop up at the second spot. Whoever
Nigga.
you are, and
It
but
don't listen. If she show up at the first spot and accuse this nigga,
but this is his first time like this is my second time being around the other guy.
I get it. But
So
what I'm saying to you is
at that point, I'm not looking at him.
unfortunately.
Because I even said, hold on. I said, hold on, let me defend myself. I even said when my friend, because I'm not trying to say names, I said, you know what? I guess we're not gonna go. I said it. I said, I guess we're not gonna go to the second spot. And my friend was like, no, we're going to the spot, such and such. Get in the car and let's go. Cause I was back, I did back out of it. I was like, no, I'm not going. And then she said, no, we all going. And that's when she said, like, don't let somebody mess up your night because they're hurt. Cause you could tell she was hurt. She was hurt.
Oh no, I didn't say mess up your night. My night would have been saved at home, away from all that madness. But I mean, I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, where I'm at in my life. If I'm out and some people got some drama happening, exit, stage left. Like, I'm
Yeah,
out.
I said it. I was like, you know what? I said, we ain't gonna go to Benny's. And she was like, no, we going to Benny's. Because she knows, I
I
guess,
get it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You don't. She was trying to salvage the night,
yeah.
but like that drama traveled.
But I was
Drama
scared.
traveled. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
My God.
But you know what? I said, if she end up at this third spot, I like
You was gonna give her a third chance.
no. Well, when we were leaving the place on Cary, we went behind the building. So I don't know what he said to her. I know she threw her drink on him at that point. She threw whatever was in her car on him. And yeah. And she basically, I don't know, because I was gone. And when he got in the car, when we were driving back to our cars, because our cars was in the parking lot, we said, don't let someone like that ruin your night. Because he even said at that point, at that second spot, that's when he was done. Because he was like, this is embarrassing with me. I don't want to hang with you guys because of this. And I don't want you guys to think that this is the drama that I bring. No, he was about to bow out at that moment.
Commendable. But damn, bro.
He was about to buy. That's what I'm saying. Like
I mean, but he had to. Fuck, he put the fuse in her back. Ain't none worse. Listen, ain't none worse than sticking around for the after relationship. If it's over, it's over. Fuck all that comfort shit.
because you holding on.
But I mean, but it's technically over. But y'all comfortable with each other, so y'all keep.
And I'm
Nah,
happy you
man.
said that because we can leave on that note because that's exactly what it was. It was comfort because he said it. This is the only person I was dealing with, but we wasn't dealing with each other. We was going out, we was still doing stuff, and I said, you can't. Of course, she gonna pop up because she want to see who you with on a Friday. You didn't spend that love holiday with her. You out with your.
She brought your gifts with her. She was
She
looking
bought
for
her
your
gift.
ass.
She was
She was
like,
out
"Where's my
looking for
flower?"
you. She kept know what she did. She kept them in the car for whenever she was gonna pull up on your ass. Wait
Oh,
for that invite.
and she did not have a tracker on him. She paid attention to my friend saying where the next spot we was going. So somewhere in there, she
Nigga,
must
I
have.
wouldn't be surprised.
My, you
And
are so
think
late.
about think
My,
about think about
the live is over, ma'am.
think about this though. Think about like you said. One he might have been like sharing his location and never turned it off.
Oh, like me, the Orlando thing. That could have been it. I thought about that too. Because the dude in
I
Orlando,
mean, because like no, because like all right, she
he
showed
did
up at
because
this.
he told me he was going somewhere else. He told me he was going to Vegas and he was in Orlando.
I'm just saying, like she had her. She sniffed that nigga out like a truffle pig.
What you gonna be a truffle pig?
She sniffed that nigga out, son. She was like, I'm showing up at everywhere he at tonight. And I'm slow rolling past y'all niggas and then speeding up, almost taking you out with my car. Do you understand what your night would have been like if you got hit by a car for a nigga you met an hour ago? All because you didn't want to go home.
Hold on, my said so. My know this story because I told her
We
yesterday.
would have did the episode from the hospital too, nigga. Like we would have did that.
Hold on, shout out to my out in Chester, Neltec out there in Chester.
You done shot her out like 9 times.
Yeah, but she said I'm here for the best part. And let me
There's a best part.
she said she got here for the best part.
Oh Lord, she
Just
late.
got on. I know.
She late.
So let me also say that too. Anybody in Cleveland, Ohio, make sure you go to the Beauty Lab. It is off of 15300 Road on Waterloo in the Art District. And my niece is an esthetician. So she does waxing, facials, massages, foot detox, body wraps, and eyelash extensions.
I had a person just got pink eye from them damn eyelashes. I need to leave them shits alone. Y'all need to leave them shits alone.
On that note, we are getting off.
We are. We're
Yeah.
leaving. If you've been following, we have several lives. You can definitely catch this on Facebook Live.
I'm
You can
gonna
catch
put this on audio also.
You have this also playing on YouTube, my YouTube channel, My Shit is Pure Comedy. Find me on IG at My Shit is Pure Comedy. Where can they find you at, Natasha?
They can find me at Natasha Renee _ the creator. You can follow the podcast page on IG at Disaster Dating 101 Podcast. We are on X at Disaster Date 101. We are also on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Facebook people, please, because I don't like me and Antoine being up and down. I need some space. Like I need us to move around because
I'm telling you, they probably would get a better live experience on the YouTube
on
anyway.
the YouTube. Yeah, so
Yeah.
y'all got to get to YouTube.
We got 2 YouTube channels. We got the Disaster Date 101 channel, right?
Yeah, Disaster
And-
Data 101.
And then you can catch it on mine. You can catch it on my Shit is Pure Comedy YouTube. So it's there. You
Yeah.
get the full episodes. You know what I'm saying? We would like to. We could have had the third screen up so we can have Shorty's video
Yeah.
in it. But you said that would have messed up the IG live though.
Yeah, it probably would have put it, yeah, because like our comments are under, so I don't know how it would have did.
You're the only one that can see the IG live. Oh, it's just because you're actually following it. Right?
Yeah, I'm on it. Yeah,
You're
I
on
have
it.
it on another screen. Yeah. You know, so I'm looking at both.
I don't care how y'all listen. Just listen. Fuck with us. Fuck with us.
Yeah.
We not out here trying to be like everybody else's podcast. I know
Nah.
y'all sick of everybody's shit, but we out here putting ourselves on the line.
That part. Putting
Yeah,
ourselves
we ain't out here. I ain't got no advice for you. This is
I don't
shit that
got
happened
no
to me.
part 50.
This shit that happened to me.
No part
I
50.
do got some common sense though. I tried out that. This shit's crazy out here. She did 50 something episodes, yo.
Yeah. I need to do that. I need to do a podcast.
3 days. She held America hostage for 3 days.
And
I'm telling
everybody,
you, yo, if you go, I think if you hunt on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck they call it now, if you hunt fast enough, I think you can find, at least you can find them online. Them old
oh,
Zola tweets.
YouTube is. Oh, you saw. Oh, the Zola. I'm gonna check that
Yeah,
out so I can.
that was the original like heartbreaking story over like a period of days and shit. She just captured the video essence of it, and do her little spin in, and she, like her whole like preface, like her whole like, I'm just gonna let you know I'm sarcastic and I use comedy and woo woo woo. She held niggas at attention. I just talked to somebody that says, yo, I've been on this y'all for 3 days now. I'm like, damn,
Yeah,
because I have
I know. I
to.
talked to you on
Because
Tuesday.
I have
Yeah,
to.
I talked to you on Tuesday, and I just finished today.
Yeah, I fell asleep to it,
Yeah,
and
I did too.
apparently I still heard it in my sleep because I didn't feel like I lost anything. Like it's just been running in the background while I'm at work and shit. Like I don't even look at her. I'm just listening. And really, you didn't need all of the lies told,
Mm-mm.
but that made the story longer and more salacious. But like you said, you can identify like the need to be in a relationship and was willing to marry the first man that was going to marry you.
That part. Even the
And then that part, like again, just saying like I don't want to be alone, but like I said, the blip was something else, yo. I don't understand how niggas, excuse me, I don't understand how mofos quarantine together unless you married. Like, I mean, I'm just talking about like
I felt like y'all still could have visited each other. Like you didn't have to be in the same space.
niggas act like we couldn't go outside at all. That was the other part.
Oh,
We couldn't go outside at all.
and
You would have
Atlanta
thought
was
they talk
was
about COVID.
not
They
quarantined.
talk about quarantine like it was a dystopian society and shit. Nigga, we could go outside. The grocery stores was open.
She act like she was in some like hick town because Atlanta was off the hook
I mean,
during
because
COVID.
Atlanta wasn't closed for real. Like that's the other part. Like she could talk all that quarantine shit, but Atlanta didn't
But it
really shut
wasn't.
down.
Yeah. Because don't
Everybody know
forget
them
the supposed
them red
boo
states
popped
didn't
up.
shut down.
Remember the supposed boo popped up? Because the dude I looked right before we logged in, and I'm gonna make sure we sign out quick soon. But apparently he went on live and was like, because somebody found him. And yeah, one of I guess by part 10, someone on social media did a
Knew
deep
who he
dive.
was.
No,
His
did a deep
family doxed him. His
no,
family
did a
doxed
deep
him.
dive based off the information she gave on part 10, found them because supposedly the first wife's son been on TikTok, but he came out. Matter of fact, somebody from Norfolk State, she posted his picture yesterday on as her
Where's this
profile
stuff?
picture. Um,
You don't have it?
um, no, I don't have it because
Oh,
I just so happened to glance past it right before I was setting up,
get this stuff.
and he basically was like, "It was a lie. She cheated on me."
He's still
And
telling that one.
and he cheated on. I think the good dude was Reagan or something like that. That was the guy's name, or Reggie, or Reginald, or Reagan.
Wow.
And he was like, "She cheated on me, and that's why I left."
I think he lying. I think he lying. I think they both got. I mean, she might embellish stories to tell a story, but I think she ran into. I mean, at the end of the day, she ran into a homosexual with mental
Homosexual.
issues.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Hey, man, y'all stay safe out here.
Yes,
Shit.
we will be back soon.
Take your time, young man.
We'll go
Mama
live
used
next
to
week.
say,
We'll go
huh?
live next week if you're free next Tuesday or Thursday. We'll go live.
We go
I
live.
don't got to run the
We
streets.
go live whenever you are available. Remember that, okay?
Yes, it may be on a Monday though, but I'll let you know. I
We were
got
supposed to go live on a Sunday night. Remember?
Sunday. I was tired. I slept for 2 days. Then I got a new neighbor.
It was like we selling dope. Motherfucker, I am.
Getting to know my neighbors now.
All right, everybody. We love you. Thank you for coming out and fucking with us. We'll do this again. Hope to see you. Shout out to everybody who was in the comments. Dana, Dorn.
That's Ebony. Just Ebony. Don't.
Why is her name backwards?
I don't know. I know her as Ebony. Shout out to my and shout out also to original Pack Avenue boy. I used to go to school with him. Oh my gosh. Oh. Anyways, Kyle. I was like, oh my gosh, Kyle, I'm so sorry. He has a podcast, the regular podcast. I know it on IG. I follow them. Make sure you guys are following them. Kyle always looks out. Also, shout out to my bestie and her sister and my niece Pooh and my brother came on and listened and were a part of the conversation also. So thank you guys so much for listening. Good night.
Night.
We still live, just to let you know. I gotta find
We
this
always
end, but
still live. What are you talking about? That's why I'm holding this look.
I was asking